In this video, we're going to talk about one of the biggest mistakes that new traders make. Stay tuned. Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. Okay, so one of the biggest mistakes new traders make, it is not chart patterns, it is not setups, it is not strategies, it's not anything like that. It's something completely different. If as a new trader you have a series of losing trades, you change the way you think about the market. And actually what you do is you end up turning up the volume on all the noise that is causing you to lose, creating that negative feedback loop. Let me explain what I mean. So you've had a string of losing trades, and in your mind you're thinking, my next trade has got to be a winner. I'm going to research this one completely thoroughly. I'm going to get all the information. I'm going to look at every single chart that's to do with it. I'm going to make my decision, and it's not going to be a losing trade. I'm going to wait for my entry. I'm going to do it exactly right. And I'm going to get all this, and I'm going to do it. What are you doing? You're taking way too much information in. You're increasing that cognitive load on you. And not only that, but you're also turning the emotion right up onto the trade. You're putting a lot of significance on the next trade or the next couple of trades. And you're saying, hey, these are so important because I have a string of losers. I can't afford to have any more losers. You know, my self-worth attached to it. I'm losing my money, this, that, and the other. And you're just putting yourself in a position that you cannot succeed from. Because even if you do make a profitable trade, all you're doing is reinforcing that behavior of really front loading kind of the worth and the effort and all the stuff that you don't need to be putting into each trade. Yes, you need to putting effort in. Maybe effort's the wrong word, but you don't need to have all that research and thinking harder and harder at it. You know, it's like golf. You know, if you play golf and if you're relaxed and you're just in the zone, as they call it, and you're just playing and you're doing everything right, it's going to work very, very well for you. You're going to have a good swing, you're going to hit it well. If you're over concentrating and you're holding yourself tense and you're saying this is really so important, I've got to hit this ball, I've got to get this in the hole, you're physically going to change, and it's going to change the dynamic of the swing, and you're going to have a poor shot. That's just a well-known fact in the golfing world. It's the same with a lot of endeavors. You know, trading is no different to that kind of thing. If you're thinking about it too much and you're putting too much weight on it, you're changing your mindset from kind of positive to negative, and you're changing the way you process the data. And many new traders fall into this trap of, hey, I'm losing. I must make the next one a winner. I must. And you're just digging a big hole for yourself and not allowing yourself to get out of the hole, rather than saying, hey, do you know what? If I have 10 losers in a row, I have 10 losers in a row. I've planned for this. It's not going to cause me any issue with my trading account. I know how much I'm prepared to lose. It's no big deal. If I lose 10, then I'll reassess and I'll come back. You know, that's the best thing that you can do to kind of combat this, is to put the brakes on the actual process you've got. So when you've had a series of losing trades and you know that is going to put you into a state of, I'm really going to have to make the next trade a winner, put the brakes on it. Force yourself into taking a break. Force yourself into getting out of it. Because it's all very well for me to stand here and say, hey, you know what? This is what you must do. You must, as a new trader, you know, look at it objectively and it's easier said than done, guys. I get it. So why not try putting yourself away, refreshing, coming back? If that's a swing trader, maybe you take a week off. A day trader, a day off, a couple of days off, whatever, based on the time frame you're trading, to allow your mind to reset and to say to yourself, okay, you know, this has happened. The next trade doesn't matter. I need to just stick to my system, my strategy. If it's a system issue or a strategy issue, that's something else. You've got to then look at that in its own little box. You know, if I'm just going to put a strategy there, you've got to look at that in its own little box and sort it out. But if it's a case of, hey, you know, when I get a string of losers, I change my mindset and dig myself a big hole, then that needs addressing on its own. And it's a big mistake. I mean, I've made this mistake, definitely have made this mistake. If I had losing trades, I must make the next one a really good, okay, let me wait for it, okay, and the candle, the volume, this, that, and the other, and I'm really overdoing my analysis rather than just going with the flow and saying, okay, it does set up, its filters are all ticked, and now just wait for my trigger, pull the trigger, put my stop in, what will be. Really, and then of course when you're in the trade, you're watching every single move, every single tick, every single oscillation, and you're nervous about it. You're never going to let it run on, a decent a period of time or get a big decent amount of money out of it because you're concerned about it pulling back, because you put the actual benchmark of success on whether it's a winner or a loser, as opposed to it being how profitable it's going to be, which is ultimately where you make your money. When you've got a trade that runs on and on, that doesn't matter. It's one winning trade, yes, but if you made 10x on that, 10 times your risk, that's worth way more than, or 10 times more obviously than, one time your risk trade. So you end up putting your benchmark as for success in a different category than what you should do. So in other words, guys, it's a vicious circle. It's something to really be mindful of, to avoid. If you're even if you're a seasoned trader as well, having that series of losses that then makes your focus become way too much. You put way too emotional weighting onto the next trade. Back off, reassess, come in and just play the game, do the process, be the casino. We talked about being the casino. We're taking the other side of the roulette where you don't know what's going to happen on the next trade. It doesn't matter what's going to happen on the next trade, but just let the process play out. All right, guys, let me know if that's something that affects you and how you've managed to deal with it in the comments section below. Take care, good trading, keep your risk managed. I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.